Hello friends, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to study a very important poem, Lines Composed a Few Miles Above Tintern Abbey by William Wordsworth. William Wordsworth was an English romantic poet. He was born on 7th of April 1770 and died on 23rd of April 1850 at the age of 80 years in United Kingdom. William Wordsworth served as England's poet laureate from 1843 until his death in 1850. His major works are Lyrical Ballads 1798 with Samuel Taylor Coleridge, Tintern Abbey 1798 included in Lyrical Ballads, Poems in two volumes 1807, The Prelude, published posthumously in 1850 but composed between 1798 and 1805, Ode, Intimations of Immortality 1807, The Solitary Reaper 1807, I Wandered Lonely as a Cloud 1807, The Excursion 1814. Lines composed a few miles above Tintern Abbey on revisiting the banks of the Wye during a tour, July 13, 1798, commonly known as Tintern Abbey, is a poem written by the British Romantic poet William Wordsworth. Wordsworth had first visited the Wye Valley when he was 23 years old. His return 5 years later occasioned this poem, which Wordsworth saw as articulating his beliefs about nature, creativity, and the human soul. Tintern Abbey was included as the final poem in Lyrical Ballads, a 1798 collection of poems by Wordsworth and his friends and fellow poet Samuel Taylor Coleridge. Tintern Abbey was composed in blank verse, means unrhymed lines in iambic pentameter. The full title of this poem is Lines Composed a Few Miles Above Tintern Abbey on Revisiting the Banks of the Wye during a tour July 13, 1798. It opens with the speaker's declaration that 5 years have passed since he last visited this location, encountered its tranquil rustic scenery, and heard the murmuring waters of the river. He recites the objects he sees again and describes their effect upon him. He leans against the dark sycamore tree and looks at the cottage grounds and the orchard trees, whose fruit is still unripe. He sees the wreath of smoke rising up from cottage chimneys between the trees and imagines that they might rise from vagrant dwellers in the houseless woods or from the cave of a hermit in the deep forest. The speaker then describes how his memory of these beauteous forms has worked upon him in his absence from them. When he was alone or in crowded towns and cities, the memory of the woods and cottages offered tranquil restoration to his mind and even affected him when he was not aware of the memory influencing his deeds of kindness and love. He further credits the memory of the scene with offering him access to the mental and spiritual state in which the burden of the world is lightened, in which he becomes a living soul with a view into the life of things. The speaker then says that his belief that the memory of the words has affected him so strongly. Even in the present moment, the memory of his past experiences in these surroundings floats over his present view of them, and he feels bittersweet joy in reviving them. He thinks happily too that his present experience will provide many happy memories for future years. The speaker acknowledges that he is different now from how he was in those long ago times, when as a boy he bounded over the mountains and through the streams. In those days, he says, nature made up his whole world. Waterfalls, mountains, and woods gave shape to his passions, his appetites, and his love. That time is now past, he says, but he does not mourn it, for though he cannot resume his old relationship with nature, he has been amply compensated by a new set of more mature gifts. He can now sense the presence of something far more subtle, powerful, and fundamental in the light of the setting suns, the ocean, the air itself. For that reason, he says, he still loves nature, still loves mountains and pastures and woods, for they anchor his purest thought and guard the heart and soul of his moral being. The speaker says that he is in the company of his dear sister, who is also his dear friend. He offers a prayer to nature. The speaker encourages the moon to shine upon his sister and wind to blow against her. And he says to her that in later years, when she is sad or fearful, the memory of this experience will help her to heal. And if he himself is dead, then she can remember this love with which he worshipped nature. The themes in this poem are the restorative power of nature, awe and the sublime, perception, creativity and the imagination, and also time and change. Thanks for watching.